Some people grind for greatness. Some people just stumble upon it. Others, like us, sit in a room with 3 other dudes arguing about everything and accomplishing nothing. This is the Infinite Roundabout. Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name's Matt. I'm one of your co-hosts today. I am here with Blake.
Yo.
And Devin.
What it do?
Unfortunately, John is not here today. He had some sort of work thing he had to be at. He's not available to talk with us today. Anyway, this is a trial run anyway. Doesn't really count as a podcast. We're just practicing. That's all. But on that note, I figured we'd start talking about a topic. That's free agency that happened today on 3/12/2018.
This is not a sports podcast.
This is a test run.
You start every show with this is not a sports podcast, and we talk about sports the entire time.
So, a lot happened today. The Packers. Devin,
What about them?
what do you want to say to your dear Packers?
They're dead to me. No.
Wow.
I wish Jordy Nelson his best. There's nothing we can do
With
about
the
it
New
now.
England Patriots.
This is why I didn't jump in very much in our chat today, because I felt like Devin was coming from a place of emotion, and there's just no point in arguing with someone like that.
And I'm just an arrogant Pats fan.
Yeah. So you have no emotion. He's all emotion.
We can only take so many years of, well, this is going to be our year before you just want to end it all.
They won a Super Bowl like 6 years ago or something.
Yeah, it's really hard. I mean, honestly, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
The Pats went
Both
like
of
without
you
like
have
10
got to
years
watch
without
your
a Super Bowl.
team win a Super Bowl. I haven't.
It's your fault for picking the Texans.
You know what's funny? It's not really funny. It's kind of a really sad story. But my great uncle on my stepmom's side, he was like dying of cancer, and that was going to be his last year alive. Like, he knew he had 6 months left to live, and he's a huge Packers fan. That was the year they won the Super Bowl, so you got to see one more before.
It's a good send off.
Before it happened.
That's pretty cool. It doesn't always happen that way. That's pretty cool. But since we're talking about the Packers, let's talk about who they lost and who they gained. I think one of the first players they got rid of or lost was Randall, the cornerback.
Good.
With a trade to the Browns for Deshaun Kaiser.
Get him off my fucking team. I fucking hated that
Okay,
guy.
Deshaun
Devin, wish granted.
Yeah, I know.
Unfortunately, there are strings attached.
Yeah, that's fine.
Deshaun Kaiser
I'll take Deshaun Kaiser
or Brett Hundley.
Well, here's the thing. Deshaun Kaiser has a normal-sized head. Brett Hundley did not.
Brett Hundley's a lizard person, so that's just a comparison.
I just can't take him seriously. Every time he trots onto that field with that Packers helmet on his oversized head, like, it doesn't even fit. It's like, what are you doing, dude? Get a helmet that fits.
So, Randall, being the first guy they lost, they also released Jordy Nelson today. Devin was quite distraught over this. I got some threatening messages. I just lost my receiver too. I lost Danny Amendola. So I'm with you. I feel your pain.
That's like comparing apples to oranges. I'm sorry, it's not even close.
No, it'd be more if the Patriots lost Julian Edelman. That'd be more comparable.
Right.
I agree. We lost our Randall Cobb.
Right.
You lost your Julian Edelman, per se. They also...
It'd be more like losing Gronk, I would think, but
No.
I don't know.
Well, you're right, because Gronk misses all kinds of games for injuries. So.
That's true.
It hurts.
That's not true of Nelson, though.
Did the Packers lose anybody else? Off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody who they lost, but I do know who they gained.
That is true.
Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham.
I said Jimmy G in a group chat. Realized how misleading that was.
I got it for the record. I knew that San Francisco wasn't trading Jimmy Graham, so...
Jimmy
Garoppolo, yeah.
No, but big day for the Packers.
They just got Muhammad Wilkerson, I saw.
Oh, yeah, Muhammad Wilkerson.
I don't know what to
joined the
think about
Packers,
Jimmy
too.
Graham, though. Because it's like, on the one hand, he still kept scoring a lot of touchdowns in Seattle, but his production for receiving was just way
And
down.
that's because of Seattle's offense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Seattle,
I wasn't sure if it was Seattle's offense or if it was just him losing it as a player.
It was Seattle's offense. Seattle is they'll run up and up your ass and then run up your ass again kind of team.
Until they get to the 1 yard
Jimmy
line
Graham
in
is
Super Bowl.
not a blocking tight end. I think he'll fit much better in the Packer scheme. I've seen Aaron Rodgers throw to tight ends who were nobodies and make them look great. Jimmy Grant is like 6 inches taller than all those guys, and
Speaking of
has way better hands. So
speaking of 1 yard line in the Super Bowl, Malcolm Butler.
oh, he's gone.
He's off to be a Titan.
He got
Conquer the
paid.
world.
He got paid.
He did get paid. That was
He
a big
got paid.
contract for such a little guy.
A very big little guy. I'll miss you. I'll miss you, Malcolm. So I mean, Patriots lost Malcolm Butler today. They lost Danny Amendola today to the Miami Dolphins. That sucked. That's no fun. I really like that guy.
Career is over.
Yeah, he
signed his death warrant.
Yeah, he
sure.
kind of just called it.
I mean, the only worst place he
checked
could have
out.
ended up was the Browns. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, so on top of that, on a couple other loose ends, Ndamukong Suh, Nebraska alum, not a Miami Dolphin anymore.
Yeah, I stopped caring about Sue a while ago.
I think most of Nebraska did. Honestly, he's become such a not necessarily a dirty player, but
just an asshole.
disliked player across the league.
Overall.
I mean, actually, he's a dirty player too.
Yeah. It was so unnecessary, that stuff that he was doing. It's like, it wasn't even like making big plays. He was just doing it to do it. And it's like, why?
I think, honestly, he had to have been put on some sort of testosterone booster when he got into the NFL. That's like the only excuse. I know.
Well, you think about
I go to the gym.
This guy over here, he works out.
I go to the gym. I know guys. I know guys who use steroids. I know guys who use test boosters. They are amped up.
So, I used to ask myself that all the time too, like, what changed? Because he wasn't like that in Nebraska. But then I was thinking, for some reason, the game stands out so much when we played Texas in that Big 12 championship game, where he would grab Colt McCoy and he would spin around and throw that dude so unnecessarily. It's like, that's just what he did.
I think it got taken to a whole other level in the NFL, even though the NFL is a whole nother level.
Thanks for that insight.
Yeah. No, it's a crazy day in free agency. Seattle Seahawks falling apart. They should pick up Ndamukong Suh. They have nobody left on their defense. Bobby Wagner needs somebody to hold down them offensive linemen for him. They traded Michael Bennett. They lost Richard Sherman. They just lost their other cornerback, Deshaun Shed, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Cam Chancellor, he's a big if. He's been having neck injuries for a while now. We don't know if he's going to play much anymore.
They are also looking at shopping options for Earl Thomas too.
But I heard they were only going to shop him if he got big boy price. And they weren't going to just give him away.
Right.
I mean, Seattle Seahawks seem like they're on wholesale right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a message tomorrow saying Earl Thomas traded to, such and such a team for 3rd round pick. I'd be like, what?
Probably not.
Hopefully they trade him to Houston because they need help in the back end. They needed a lot.
That's Houston.
Houston needs everything. Yeah, speaking of Houston, let's talk about Houston's free agent acquisitions.
It's a short conversation.
Hold on. Listen, do you hear that?
Yep, that was it. Okay, we covered all Houston's free agent acquisitions.
To the next person. Or to the next team.
The next team. Well, who else? I'm trying to think what else happened.
Browns made a big splash.
Browns did make a big splash. They did. They acquired Tyrod Taylor,
Jarvis Landry,
and Randall from the Packers.
Yeah, Randall.
I think just Taylor and Landry alone was 2 big pickups for them. Tyler Taylor, good quarterback, not great. But he might be able to, patch what leaks the Browns have on offense. And then, with that happening, who doesn't think that the Browns aren't going to draft Saquon Barkley?
They're for sure drafting Saquon.
Yeah.
So now,
Taylor's he kind of fits that mold. I didn't even think about him when I was talking about the Browns last week, where he's the guy who can play behind a shitty offensive line and still keep the play alive for a little bit longer. And that's the kind of guy you're looking for right now until you can shore up that line.
Absolutely.
He's not going to be a long-term option. He's going to be there for 2 years at most. But it gives them time to address their other holes and then just plug a quarterback in when they're ready.
I think so. I think that's a good move.
Much like what the Cowboys did. And then
I think it also helped with. Cleveland does have talent on their offense. They need some guys on their line, but if you can manage to keep the pressure off of Tyrod Taylor, he can do the job.
Yeah, and this definitely screams. We're gonna pick Saquon Barkley first, then we're just gonna take the next best available quarterback who's ever left.
Exactly. Yeah,
So
they're
we
gonna need
can-
another body.
I think they're trading out of that pick, number 4.
I saw a lot of stuff on that too. I wouldn't put it past them.
That could be.
I think they better get something good for it.
I think
Well,
they'll trade lower in the round and get another second round pick or something.
Exactly. They'll just push their pick back later, and then they'll get either next year's
Patriots
first round
trade
pick.
forward. Get Bradley Chubb.
This is still not your dream world, all right, buddy? Get out of it, all right?
Something I was reading.
It's not in there, all right? It's not happening.
It's gonna happen.
Who just traded to number 12 today? Who was that? There was a team that's trying to move up the draft board. I wouldn't be surprised if they trade up to 4 in the Brown spot as well. I can't remember which team it was.
Yeesh.
But they were looking for a quarterback, and it was going to be a tall order at 12.
I have no idea. I know that Sam Bradford's going to the Cardinals for $20 million for
They
just
better have a
next
good
year.
backup.
Yeah, well, he'll play like 3 games, and then his knee's gonna kind of
I
ache.
mean, last year he got paid $18 million to play 1 game.
That's true.
I mean, that's not a bad gig. I just saw the breakdown, the cost breakdown of Sam Bradford throughout his career. He's gotten paid $3.5 million per win in the NFL.
I saw that too.
It's like, I want that job.
Right. Case Keenum is going to the Broncos.
The Denver Broncos.
I don't think this makes them elite. I don't think this makes them a contender.
It's either him or Brock Asswater, and
I like
Keenum's a
Keenum,
clear
though.
choice.
Everyone looks past Keenum, and he
was-
played great in
did.
Houston and got cut. And then he went to the Rams, which, what are you going to do with Jeff Fisher?
So I think it's funny. I think it's funny what the Vikings did to Case Keenum because, it's Case Keenum.
They got him
no
paid.
one was expecting to do what he did, and he did he overperformed for the Vikings in my opinion. He had a great season with them. I mean, he wasn't overwhelming, but he did his role. He did his job. He played well, and then the Vikings are like, sorry, we're gonna do it with this guy, but pay him more money.
There was, on that
That's
LA
so-
Rams team,
So we'll get to that in a
on
second.
that LA Rams team, there was 3 quarterbacks that Jeff Fisher coached. All 3 of those quarterbacks after he left went off. Jared Goff took the Rams to the playoffs. No one saw that coming. Case Keenum led the Vikings to the championship game. No one saw that coming. And Nick Foles won a goddamn Super Bowl.
Oh, let's not use that one.
I've already said fuck twice. So
I just think let's not use the Lord's name in vain.
I can't make any promises.
We may not. We're probably not gonna upload this one anyway.
No.
But
Give me 0.75.
Super Bowl MVP, 3rd string on the Rams when Jeff Fisher was there.
that's Jeff Fisher's fault.
It is. I'm just saying. Like
So-
everyone thinks Case is the shitty quarterback because he played for Jeff Fisher. It's like
He's not.
he played great before that and he played great after that.
And no one said he was shitty. It was just no one expects much from him. No one looks at Case Keenum and says that's going to be the next Aaron Rodgers. That's going to be the next Tom Brady.
He's only got like every passing record in college football history, but
okay.
That's what happens when you play Division II schools your entire time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, he's not an NFL elite quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He's not NFL elite.
to be fair, he also did play like 6 years in college.
That's true.
Oh yeah, that helps too.
Yes. So yeah, we can talk about the next big signing that's I don't think official yet.
No, it is. It is official.
It is
It is
official.
official today.
All right. Yeah. Kirk Cousins is going to the
Cousins.
Minnesota Vikings.
I think he ended up getting. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 years, but $86 million
guaranteed.
guaranteed.
I
Guaranteed.
still don't understand what the hell the Vikings are doing up there.
Remember when I said Kirk Cousins was asking for fuck you money?
He could walk
got
away.
it.
He could.
He
got it.
He could twist his ankle and end his career tomorrow. $86 million.
Like I get. So you had Sam Bradford. I get that he's an injury risk always. So you want insurance there. But he played great when he was healthy. He did good things with the Vikings. He did. It's unobjective.
Oh, Sam
He did.
Bradford. Yeah, I'm shaking my head because I'm thinking of Kirk Cousins.
And
I'm
then-
still baffled at the price tag. he
And
got.
then I get that you want an insurance policy for Teddy Bridgewater because you don't know how he's going to play after that big injury. But then you've got Case Keenum. Look what he did for you last year. So you got 3 quarterbacks on your roster who are capable of leading
Completely
this
capable.
team, and you get rid of every single one of them and go after Kirk Cousins. What are you doing?
Well, I'm playing devil's advocate here, Blake. You were a pretty big advocate of Kirk Cousins in the last podcast.
Not for a team that has 3 capable quarterbacks already.
Fair, very fair. But do you think he was worth what they paid him? That's what I'm trying to get at.
No, Blake said
I
he was
do.
going to save the Browns.
I
Last
do think he's worth what they paid him because again, like last week, supply and demand.
I don't believe that.
A team needs a quarterback; they
I don't
pay for a
believe that.
quarterback.
I don't think $86 million guaranteed is.
I feel like that does more damage.
Okay,
I feel
so
like,
let's assume they were going to get rid of all 3 of those quarterbacks anyways.
They have. gotten rid of all
Okay,
three
well,
of
okay,
those
but
quarterbacks.
and they didn't sign Kirk Cousins. Who are they going to get? Who are they going after?
There's plenty of other guys
It's
out
supply
there.
and demand.
Josh McCown.
He's going to lead them to the championship game?
He can do as good as Case Keenum.
You sure about that? Because
Pretty sure.
we just watched him last year.
Well, he could do as good as Kirk Cousins for half the price. Kirk Cousins is not that much better than these other guys. He's not that much better. That's my point. You're paying top tier quarterback talent to a quarterback who does not have that talent.
Unless you're the New England Patriots, rosters come in windows in the NFL. You get a 2 to 3 year window where you're a championship ready team. So you can't mess around with a Josh McCown. That window is open for them right now.
But that's the reason the Patriots are successful, because they are system based. They're not player based. They are system based. They plug and play. I'll be the first to say that Tom Brady's greatness is only because he plays with Bill Belichick. Now, I don't know. There's only one quarterback, and I've said this before after watching the Packers fall apart. I think there's only one quarterback who could have done more for the Patriots than Tom Brady under Bill Belichick's system, and it's Aaron Rodgers. Tom Brady is a great quarterback, and I understand that having Tom Brady on our team is a blessing. But the Patriots are a system-driven team. It doesn't always work. It's not always 100% effective, but they run their organization so much more efficiently than every other team.
That's the point that I'm trying to make.
But Kirk Cousins just forebodes every bit of that system. Do you think the Patriots would put that kind of money for? If Tom Brady retired this offseason, do you think the Patriots would put $86 million down?
No, they wouldn't. That's exactly the point I'm trying to make. The Patriots do it that way. Every other team in the NFL doesn't do it that
right way.
But every other team in the NFL doesn't do it that way.
That doesn't justify it.
Every single team has a 3-year championship window. That's how they're building their rosters. You can't let that window close without addressing it.
It's not smart.
So you're saying that the Vikings are still within that window?
They're in that window.
They're mortgaging their future. That's all they're doing.
They're mortgaging their future to win a championship now, which is exactly what Denver did 2 years ago.
But they succeeded. But that was with Peyton Manning, not Kirk Cousins. Peyton Manning was not at his greatest at that time. That was a shell of Peyton Manning. But it was not. It's still Peyton Manning.
You see this all the time with these teams.
And Emmanuel Sanders, Demaryius Thomas,
Eric Decker.
Big Dick
Decker.
Well, he wasn't on the Broncos for the championship that year.
They built that roster. They spent all those monies on those players. And they built that championship window.
Look at the and then,
now it's closed.
Now, also on that subject, the Broncos defense compared to the Vikings defense. I'll take the Broncos defense 10 times out of 10 versus that other defense.
Without Aqib Talib?
Well, I'm talking about their championship defense.
Okay.
Their championship defense, and that they won Super Bowl 50 with, I think are better than the Vikings defense tenfold. The Vikings defense last year was great. It wasn't that great. Peyton Manning, the shell of Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's worst season versus Peyton Manning, Emmanuel Sanders, Demaryius Thomas, and who was their tight end at the time? He was the guy from...
Julius Thomas.
It wasn't Julius Thomas that year. It was the white guy from Baltimore, Owen Daniels.
Oh, but I think he was on the team.
It was Owen Daniels. And then you got on the Vikings roster, Kirk Cousins, who I'm obviously not an advocate for, Stephon Diggs, who's good, Adam Thielen, who is up and coming. I like those two receivers, and Kyle Rudolph. I think you can't compare those two teams.
I wasn't trying to compare those two teams.
You just were.
No, I'm saying the way that
you're saying you're trying to do what the Broncos did, and it's not going to work that way because the way that
GMs work in this league, whether you think it's the right thing to do or not, what GMs are doing is building championship windows. That is a fact. That's what they're doing. So you can't just throw that out.
That doesn't mean that I can't think it's stupid.
You can think it's stupid all you want.
That's all I'm saying.
If that's the system they're building, they have to go with that system.
I'm not saying you're wrong, Blake. I'm just saying it's stupid. You don't have to explain it to me over and over again. I just think it's stupid. It's asinine to me, and I understand that I'm a privileged Patriots fan, 100%. I won't not acknowledge that. But it's hard for any serious NFL fan to look at the Patriots and understand that they're a system, and what they're doing is succeeding. Is what it works. Now. I don't know why other teams don't try to do that more. Instead of just mortgaging their future to be good for 1 year, and then just absolute trash for the next 10.
Well, it's not for 1 year; it's for 2 to 3 years. But
let's change this. Let's flip the script here real quick. So, John's here. He's just not here.
Oh.
So let's just bring him in. He's gonna tell a great story, I'm sure. John, can you hear us? Hello, you're live.
I am here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. Everybody else can too.
Good.
So,
I hear
hey.
we're talking about foosball. Yeah.
We need and this is just another test podcast. But John, we need some comic relief. It's getting really hot in here.
yeah, it is getting hot. I need you to tell us a good story.
I was under the pressure we weren't going to have a podcast today.
If you haven't figured it out yet, Blake and I are complete assholes,
Mostly to each other when we're on the radio for some
and
reason.
we're best friends. How does that work?
It's got love.
I just don't know if I don't know. It's kind of hard to I don't know if I'm not explaining my position well, or if it's just not being received well.
No, I'm stubborn as a mule. We'll get that out there too.
That's why this is gonna work.
Hell yeah. I'm a very opinionated individual. I think a lot of us are.
You guys are gonna argue, and I'm gonna sit back here and fact check you the whole time. And I'm gonna call someone out when they're wrong.
I'll save you the trouble. You don't need to fact check me. I'm right.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Did you guys talk about where you think Nelson's going to go?
New England.
San Francisco.
I don't give a fuck. Hell,
They're
maybe?
saying 49ers is what I've read so far.
It wasn't his fault he got released.
It's
Jeez,
not his
Devin.
fault. I know.
Why are you sending him to
So
hell?
Devin's a diehard Packers fan, and anybody who's no longer at the Packers is his worst nightmare. So he hates them.
Except for Brian Bostic.
Yeah,
I can't catch.
while you were busy masturbating, I made the point that Devin was talking out of pure emotion today, so it wasn't worth arguing with him.
That's why Blake and I started arguing.
Well, you gotta poke those buttons a little bit.
Exactly. All right, so we've been doing this for about 20 minutes now.
Let's call it here.
Let's call it here.
Good test podcast. This will be in our bonus content DVD coming out in a DVD store near you, 2019. Check all the blockbusters.
I thought we were doing
Watch
only
our stream,
Blockbusters.
watch our
Yeah,
podcast,
Blockbusters is a Hollywood
subscribe,
video.
tell your friends,
Find us there.
tell your neighbors, tell your weird aunt.
Definitely
Also
weird
send
aunt.
me nudes.
Actually, tell you weird aunt. Matt said hi.
This is also going to be on Napster. Don't forget.
Well, not if Lars or Susan again.
Shit. That bastard.
Oh, I guess we can't have him as a guest. Damn, that was next week.
Damn it. All right.
Yeah, Joe Rogan canceled again.
What about
to
Morgan
come up with
Freeman? Did we
something.
get him?
He's not returning my calls.
I'll have to call him up. We're
Okay.
good buddies.
Hit him up.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Dang.